Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to be showing you a very easy way to hand knit a pillow using chunky chenille yarn. You will only need a few materials. You will need chunky chenille yarn in size super bulky. I used one skein which was 31.7 yards per pillow. You will also need polyfill and scissors. First, we're going to leave a tail at the beginning, so leave about 12 to 15 inches of yarn and then make a slip knot. You can use your fingers to measure how big to make the loop. I made it about 3 fingers long, that's about 2 to 2.5 inches. From there, we're going to grab the working yarn with our fingers and pull it through the loop, making another loop the same size. We're going to make 15 chains. For this next step, it will really help to do this on a flat surface. You want to place the chain flat on a table and connect the two ends together. You can also place that tail piece of yarn in the center just so you don't get mixed up with all the yarn. Place the last loop over the beginning loop and pass yarn through them. I made these loops a bit smaller, so about 2 fingers wide. Then move on to the next chain and using that outer loop, pull yarn through it. We're going to go all the way around doing the same thing counterclockwise and using only the outer loops. In the end, you will have 15 loops because that last loop connected to the very first one we made. And that is one row done. We're going to make 2 more rows like this. To mark where one row ends and the other begins, remember that tail of yarn. That is your marker for the beginning of a new row because it is attached to the first loop. Once you have those rows finished, hold it from the center and fold it in half. We are still going to be doing the same stitches around, but they will be closer together. Remember where you left off and start on the next loop. So you're going to be knitting towards your left. Remember, you could use your fingers to measure how big you're making the loops. I would recommend to keep them around 2 to 2.5 inches wide, so about 2 fingers, because I made a cushion with loops that were 3 to 4 fingers wide, and in the end you could see the filling. The holes were pretty noticeable, so keep an even tension and try to keep your loops the same size. And just keep doing the same thing around and around. This is a pretty quick and easy project because of this. It's the same stitch over and over. The first pillow I made took me a while because I skipped some loops, so I unraveled it and started over. I would say it might take you about 30 minutes for your first one, but once you get the hang of it, you could go pretty fast, and you'll probably be able to finish another cushion in like 15-20 minutes. The size of the pillow also depends on you. I used the whole skein for one pillow. I stopped knitting once I got about 12 to 15 inches from the end of the yarn, and that was 15 rows in total that I knitted. My pillows in the end were 33 to 35 inches around. If you want a smaller pillow, you can stop knitting earlier, or you could continue on to make it bigger. Just make sure you finish your last row completely. So now that we have the 15 rows done, we're going to close this end first. Grab the last piece of yarn and pull it through the next loop. You can do this one at a time or 2 at a time to do it faster. Also start to gently pull the yarn to close the opening. Make sure you do this carefully because chenille yarn can sometimes break if you pull on it too tightly. Once you get to the end, finish pulling the opening closed, then pull the yarn through the center to the inside. Now working from the inside, find a loop that's on the inside and pull the yarn through it to make a knot. You can make another knot just to be secure. Then you could clip off any extra yarn or just leave it in there. Next, we're going to stuff the pillow with polyfill. If you don't have or want to use polyfill, you could use other things to stuff it, like an old pillow or maybe scraps of yarn or fabric. Fill it up to how big you want the pillow. Just be careful not to overstuff it or the filling might stretch the stitches and be visible. To close the other side, pull the tail of the yarn we had at the beginning through the next loop going from the center of the pillow out. Do this for all the loops and start to gently pull the opening close. Once it's closed, pull the yarn through the center and use your finger to find an inside stitch so that you could tie a knot with the yarn. Then just push any extra yarn into the pillow. To finish, just fluff up your pillow and you're done. I hope you liked this tutorial. Please like and share it and make sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching.